it's transparency. What data gives people is transparency. But the other issue which you touched upon was there was a recent client where everyone has is quite built up experience when they're in work and they always can offer an opinion. But when you back it up with data, what data show that our point was actually that's not where the problem is. So where people assumed there was busy periods, it wasn't. There was like so data brought that forward, and then that getting brought engagement into spending money in the data side, addressing data, cleaning it up to do more of that and bringing it to meetings. So backed up by us giving us this opinion, here's the backup of the data. But other times, in majority is transparency because data brings trust. So when you see something in black and white, rather than people saying, we're doing really well, but we could back it up with these stats. So usually it comes down to transparency or something's been presented, people have disagreed, and then, well, right, we need to invest in that. So it's usually been kind of those sort of drivers. Or again, as you've just said, going to another system. I have seen that where it's been a finance system going from SAP to JDE to how they hold data and how the hierarchies are is totally different. So addressing the data there and making sure it's correct.
I agree with Parpreet and Toby's points. I think, and then they can even both link together as well. So, Toby, I agree. Often, you see a reactive approach to data. There's a situation that requires you to pull your socks up and be in a better data situation. And often ERP, I think it's a good example you gave. The example I would use is also an ERP program that put a completely different demand for data maturity for the organization than where they were before. So there's a step change in maturity that came from a program. I would still say that's a reactive response to your data strategy, but you have a chance to turn it proactive because it's all about what you do after the program. So do you then maintain that level of maturity and take the opportunity to make that step change? Or was it just a once in a moment focus on data and drift away again? So I would always say, and I'm glad to say the example, which is the housing example I'm talking about, the opportunity to stay more mature on data was kept, and then proactively managing data at a better maturity level was something that was kept up. It could have slipped though, and I've seen examples, and I talked to other situations where people have maybe just did a once in a moment in time, pull the socks up and let it drift again. And I think linking back to Parpreet's point, sometimes in the early days, if you made a maturity step, you need to demonstrate the value of that maturity step. So if it's a new dashboard or it's the fact that you can be looking at some data in real time that you couldn't before, whatever the output is, that is an outcome of the maturity step, demonstrate it quickly, really like show it and show it off to the point that people love it and want to keep it. And that means you're going to then work hard to keep that maturity level because there's a reason to keep it.